Hello, cosmic beings. Welcome to Being Cosmic. If this is your first time here, welcome. If you're returning, welcome back. I am so glad that each and every one of you are here. My name is Devon, and I will be doing a collective message today. So, with that, take what resonates and leave what doesn't. Okay. So, this is going to be for the Divine Masculine Collective, and I'm picking up a no contact thread of energy. So this is going to be for a divine masculine who is not currently talking to their divine feminine. Yeah. Then so in this one we're going to dive into your energy, see what wants to come out, and then I was actually guided to um channel through messages from your person. So it's going to be what your person would tell you if they could be completely honest and open. Um, and probably what they will say when you break no contact. Alrighty. So let's get into it. Right. Spirit, what wants to come through for the masculine? That was an awesome sauce shuffle right there. Ah, divine masculine on the bottom of the deck. So you're definitely I feel like you're really rising into your divine masculine energy. And with that, freaking props, man. Like, huzzah. Because holy moly, there's a lot of societal programming to break to tap into divine masculine energy, especially when it comes to, the emotions of it all. So, good job. All right. Conflict. Okay. So, it kind of came out sideways, though. So, I feel like there's just conflict in your life right now. I'm picking up maybe with the person around you. Um, so this could be for some of you, I am picking up like a karmic situation. So if you are with somebody um who's a little karmic-y, that could be what's going on. This could just be conflict in life in general. It's conflict in the sense of shifting into your divine masculine energy is you're breaking a lot of programming. You're undoing a lot of what you were told is the way to do things. Just really, really changing a lot in your life. I'm not picking up conflict between you and your feminine, but this is definitely something I feel like you're experiencing in your physical world, in your physical realm right now. What else? Okay. Okay, so these came out in reverse. Okay, we've got broken, and it's shattered, heartbroken, and destroyed. Um, It's in reverse though. So I feel like you've been healing this. I feel like you've been healing your heart space. And I feel like you've been really tapping into what it is that caused this energy for you. So what it is that, you know, was heartbreaking. And then we've got confessions in the reverse position. So I feel like what this is you want to confess something, and I am picking up to your feminine. This could be maybe confessing something to a karmic if you are in a karmic relationship. But I am picking up a definite confession when it comes to your feminine, basically. And so I feel like you want to do this, but for whatever reason, and it's going to vary for each of you depending on where you're at on the journey, what's going on specifically, so on and so forth. But there's this sense of not doing this. And then I heard not being able to. So maybe there's just a lot going on in your physical life right now that you're not quite ready for this. Um, and it could have to do with some of this heart healing as well. And then we've got pain, apprehensive, afraid, and cautious. And then I heard deep healing. So you could be healed. Fucking I love it when that shit happens. Healing just came out right when I said it. It's so like boom, confirmation. So and it landed literally directly on the pain card. So you're healing this pain. So again, good job. Good job. Elusive. Okay, so that's dishonesty, deception, and trickery. So maybe there's a feeling of being deceived in some way that caused a great deal of pain that you've been healing, that you've been working through. I do feel like a lot of this does have to do with your feminine. What else is going on for this one? What else? Anything else from this one? Yep. Okay. Yep. Okay. Yes, there is more from this one. Okay, what else? Okay. Interesting. All right. We've got purse in the reverse position. So it says hex, witchcraft, and then negative mind. So, for some of you, you could have been dealing with literal spell work. It just is what it is. It is a real thing. It does happen. So you could be literally breaking free from spell work of some kind. This could also be really releasing these negative thoughts, shifting your inner dialogue. Yeah, because it's in the reverse position, this is something that I feel like you've really worked through. Um, is this something hidden? No, that is something they worked through or are working through. So again, good job. And okay, and then we've got commitment, marriage, promises, and fidelity. And so I feel like this is the end goal. This is what you are focused on. This is what is giving you the motivation to do this healing work is for the potential of commitment with your feminine. Okay. Mm. And then I'm hearing your feminine wants this too. So just little extra confirmation for you that it's not all for naught. That is a huge possibility for you. For some of you, you are locking into the timelines where I'm hearing union is imminent. Um, so it's one of these like a part of you has already decided that this is what you want and you're going for it. Ooh, okay. And then emotional storm, but it's in the reverse. So you've been clearing a lot of deep emotions. You've been clearing this deep emotional storm that's been below the surface. And I feel like you've been allowing yourself to kind of pull some of that up and release it. Which again, just good job. Give yourself a pat on the back for that. It's not easy, especially with the programming for masculines. So just give yourself a pat on the back. That's good stuff. And it'll be worth it because this is what's waiting for you on the other end of it, which is that commitment card. And then we've got sorrow, loss, grief, and depression. Kind of came out over here. You could still be kind of in a sorrow energy, kind of just in that processing, allowing things to come to the surface, and kind of sitting with it. Just be mindful not to get stuck in it. Allow it to move. Know that there are sunnier, brighter days coming for you, and it's one of these things like it's almost here, and then I heard it's upon you, like it's upon you, and then I just got chills. So yeah, like brighter days are here. Allow yourself to trust in that and know that. What else? Still need to hear right now, spirit. What else are they going through? What's going on? Breaking point. But again, it's in reverse. Is that saying they haven't hit it yet? No, they already did. Okay, and it landed kind of like in reverse, but like sideways on top of both of these piles here. And so, um, something happened, and I'm seeing the Tower card in my mind's eye, which is divine intervention of some sort. And yeah, I feel like you already hit a breaking point of some sort. It was this energy where you couldn't run from it anymore. You couldn't ignore it anymore. You couldn't yeah, it just got so loud with your feminine, kind of the awareness and everything of the situation. And it led to a breaking point to where it was one of those like you had no choice but to face it because it got so loud. And that is by divine design. Like that is that is divine intervention um coming in because it's time. Okay, that's in Marvel's position. Interesting. The hell? What is that? Is that saying okay, this sorrow? I got it. So only you came out in the reverse position and it landed on top of sorrow. And so what I'm getting from this is there's a level of sorrow or grief or worry about your feminine. And I feel like it's because for you, this is the only person that you really see yourself fully, happily committing to in this lifetime. And there is a worry that your feminine does not feel the same. And if you're watching this and you're resonating with this, especially at this point in the reading, just know that your feminine only has eyes for you as well on that deeper level. Whether they're with somebody else or not, it's very much mirrored. Your feminine definitely desires this commitment outcome with you. But that would make sense on why that's bringing a lot of sorrow. And then return. We've got second chances, opportunities, and making amends. And I feel like that's what you're focused on now. And that's what's really, really pushing you to keep going in, to keep doing that deep inner work, to keep looking at your shadow, to keep looking at these core wounds and processing and healing. And just know it's not all for naught. It's not going to be a situation if you're in this energy and you're resonating with this message, your feminine is on board for a reunion. Your feminine is willing to give you a second chance. For some of you, it's going to be a little sticky in order to get there, especially if there's, third parties, like, other romantic stuff going on between, you and a person or your feminine and a person, or maybe both. Um, but there is definitely this energy where I feel like your feminine has chosen union. Your feminine has chosen this commitment energy with you, and so when you go in to ask for a second chance, you're going to be, I'm hearing a resounding yes, is what you're going to be met with. Mm-mm-mm. Oh, the hell? Yeah. Sometimes that sort of energy just gets me all up in my field. Oh, okay. Hold on. I have to pause it. All right. Yeah. Anyways, comes out of nowhere sometimes in this damn energy. Okay. Anyways, it's times like this, I'm thankful my face isn't on the screen. Just, you know, over here freaking crying. All good. Okay. So, okay, we've got ecstasy, but it was in the reverse position. This is chasing thrills, good times. This is it's kind of like that vice energy, that distracting energy. It's that running from your own shadow basically, which we all do at some point, just in life in general. Um and because it's in reverse, I feel like you've stopped doing this. You stopped maybe partying, or it could be like, I'm hearing like sober. So you could be in the energy of like where you're not drinking or you're not using, substances that are super mind altering or, and it's more of that escaping mentality. So even if it's not substances, it could be like escaping through, your devices, escaping through being so busy that you're not able to sit with it and process it. And you're just busy, 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 busy. And just focusing on all these other things is a way to distract yourself from doing this deep inner work. And so I feel like you've really stopped doing that, stopped chasing superficial thrills is what just came through and allowing yourself to tap into that deep desire, what it is that you deeply, deeply desire to have in this life. If you really got clear, which I feel like you have been, and you're like, what is it that I would really want to experience in this lifetime? It's, and I just heard it's my feminine, which by the way, that is mirrored. Your feminine desires the same thing. Um, but I feel like you've really kind of gotten open and vulnerable with yourself and allowed yourself to really tap in and go, what the hell do I really want out of life? And then when you really dug into that, you found your feminine, which is funny because one of the channeled messages that I wrote down from your person is when it was something like, "When I went into my heart, I found you." And so I feel like you've done that, in totally gotten to this energy of like, "Okay, what do I need to do in order to make that happen?" And that's just good shit, man. That is good shit. Like, good job. Okay, we've got 1 day, open heart, and beginnings. So we've got try again, new direction, starting over, and then 1 day and open heart. And so this is really, and it's on this return card and it kind of bridged to the commitment. So this is what your healing of this pain is leading to. It's leading to this 1 day energy being like today kind of thing. Um and you've really done some heart healing, and there was a shift in the energy that happened last night for this collective. I felt it as well. It was a big shift, and so it was really, I feel like there was a heart blockage that cleared. Um, so good freaking job. Like, I just have to let you know because I know we don't hear it a lot on this journey, but being on this journey, I know for myself the version of challenges that I had to face and still face and deal with, like, it's part of the journey. Um, this is the inner work that other people don't see, and it is some of the hardest work. Like, sometimes would much rather go do physical labor than sit and process some of this stuff. I mean, it's hard. It's hard work. So just, give yourself a pat on the back, like, good damn job. And this is what you're doing it for. You're doing it for this beginning in this second chance with your feminine. And your feminine is in this open heart energy when it comes to you as well. Yeah. Okay. We've got resistance. And then I'm seeing secret admirer, and that really popped out. So you could be the secret admirer of your feminine. If you have a way to see your feminine in some way, whether it's online or in person, I feel like you're kind of admiring at a distance. And funnily enough, I'm getting that that is a mirrored energy as well. So your feminine is doing the same with you. Um, and then I see suppressing. And I feel like because it was sideways, I feel like this repressing energy is lifting. I feel like you have really dug deep and pulled up some of the stuff that you were repressing to just look at and deal with. And, again, like, good freaking job. Okay. We've got foundation. It was in reverse and it was over here with this conflict energy. And so I feel like what is going on in your physical life is realizing that I'm hearing faulty foundation. So, and yeah, I definitely feel like that's part of what's kind of challenging to process right now is just looking around at your life and realizing I would give up all of this for second chance. I would I would let this all go. And maybe there's a part of you that knows that you'll have to let go of a couple things that you're not quite ready to let go of, but it's one of these things, like, when you talk to your feminine, I feel like it's gonna be just way easier to fully let it go because you're gonna feel and see the potential and realize that it is a real potential. And once you are in that energy of talking to your feminine and realizing the real potential for commitment, it's a wrap. Like, it's gonna be like, okay, what needs to happen? What needs to be done? Let's clean this shit up. Let's get her done. Oh shit. We've got Twin Flame. I forgot that there was a Twin Flame card in this deck. This one does not come out. I think it's come out in one or two other readings that I've ever done with this deck. So, yeah. Which, that's definitely, I mean, it's divine masculine, divine feminine energy. And so whether this is a high level soulmate or a twin flame, it's going to resonate, especially if you are twin flames. This is definitely twin flame energy. Um, Again, I know I've said it in other readings, but just to kind of clarify, there's a lot of shit around twin flames. Twin flames means that you have an identical core soul frequency, and then soulmates, high level soulmates, is a very similar core soul frequency. And so it is a little bit different, but there are certain dynamics that can be similar when you're talking high level soulmate versus twin flame. And then there are certain things that are pretty unique to the twin flame journey. And I do feel like I'm primarily talking to a masculine who is on a twin flame journey, whether you fully would identify with that label or not. It's just it's a little bit, I don't want to say deeper. It's just it can be a little more intense. And I'm speaking from experience, having experienced both. Being on the twin flame journey and then also experiencing a high level soulmate. There is enough of a difference, and it has to do with the energetic connectedness. An example of this is you can cut cords with your twin 1,000 bazillion times, and you are still going to feel their energy just because you are so connected. Twin flames are connected at every chakra. Like, it's a deep, deep connection. And it's literally two halves of one spark of a soul experiencing itself in two different bodies. So it's pretty intense. And that's where that mirroring energy really, really comes in. High level soulmate, oftentimes, if you end the relationship and then you cut the cords, your high level soulmate isn't going to be chasing you energetically in the same way, unless there's unfinished business, but it's still different. And there's different things that you'll experience with your twin flame as far as, like, the 5D full conscience union and the cosmic egg, and there's like these different things that are just, it's a different type of kundalini activation. It's wild. So anyways, it's a whole little tangent. Back to the message at hand. And okay, I'm hearing something else as well. And this is something else that's very, very interesting. So, mm, okay, I'm being called to go into it. With the twin flame, you cannot talk to your person for 20 years and you can still see their face. Like, if you haven't seen a picture of them in years, you can still see their face in your mind's eye. Like, sometimes if you haven't seen somebody for a very long time, even if it's a soulmate, you can kind of like forget some of the details of the face, or like especially the eyes. Like a twin flame eyes, you can still see that years and years later, even if you haven't seen a picture of them. And then same thing, you can actually hear their voice just clearly, and it's like it's definitely their voice. And so, there's a level of clairaudience for sure that's a part of that. And if you have clairaudience, you can hear other people and stuff. But when it's a twin, it's like it's and you can like feel it. It's just a little bit different. Anyways, what the hell? Hold on, a card fell on the floor. So loyalty fell on the floor. I'll get to that in just a minute. I'm seeing this hopeless card. Now, with this, I'm hearing two things. One, I'm hearing hopeless romantic. And so maybe your feminine brings out this hopeless romantic side of you, um, and vice versa. Then there is like a general sense of hopelessness. And what I'm getting is for you, you might feel like there's a sliver of hope, like one little sliver, but there's a big part of you that's like, there's no way I could get this second chance. There's no way my feminine would be open-hearted to me. There's no way my feminine could love me the way that they did, or something like that. And the thing is pay attention to that sliver of hope. And I'm not saying that to be optimistic and, the silver lining and all of that. I'm not, or like unrealistically. I'm saying that because I'm feeling the energy. So that sliver of hope, focus on that. Focus on that light. Even if it's just a little bit, focus on it. And if you're sitting there and you're like, I just feel hopeless, tap into your heart space and try and feel your feminine's energy. And I guarantee you, well, that's pretty bold, but if you really sit with your heart space and just pull out of your head for a minute and just feel the energy between you and your feminine, you're gonna feel it because there is this very strong heart chakra energy going back and forth between you two right now, and there was a heart healing or something that shifted in the heart space, and so you should be able to feel that energy a little bit more. So just do your best not to doubt it. It's easy to doubt it on this journey. It really is, because it's so like, am I literally going insane? Am I just idealizing this random thing from the past? It's, yeah, I mean, is this connection really that intense? Does this person really feel that way for me? And I get it. The feminine feels that way too. The feminine gets in that energy too. And so just do your best to release that and to just focus on the energy that you're feeling between you and your person, because it is there. It's just the mind tries to talk you out of it because it is so freaking illogical. It is. Um and then we've got loyalty, and that fell on the ground, which is really interesting. And then I heard basically like a worry that your feminine's loyalties lie elsewhere. So you could be worried that your feminine doesn't want this and wants somebody else. I had a slight interruption. So we're back. Anyways, so yeah, I feel like there's a worry of the loyalties lying elsewhere. And I'm gonna be mindful of how I say this. If it's the case where your person is in another commitment, there's in this energy that I'm picking up right now, their like deep-seated loyalties is actually with you. So again, it's one of those, just be open, honest, and vulnerable, and also just, I mean, yeah, like I understand going towards somebody who's in a relationship and confessing this. But the thing is by doing that, it may and probably in this energy will lead to handling whatever situations need to be handled in a way to where the reunion can be, this commitment energy with you can happen. So, yeah. So I want to be careful of how I word all of that, but in this energy, it's it's so mutual. It's so much. And the thing is too is understand, if you are resonating with this, then it's where it's really important to use your own intuition. If you're really resonating with this energy right now and you are getting your ass handed to you by the divine in one way or another, or in all ways, the same thing is happening to your feminine. So your feminine is getting worked on by the divine in order to help clear the way to make this happen. Because the thing is these connections, when it's time to come back together and reunite in some way, it's for a divine purpose. It's for so much more than just you and your person and, that romantic bond. Yes, that's part of it. That's a huge part of it, of course. But there's so much more because we're talking soul mission. We're talking, for some of you, there's spirit babies waiting to be birthed by you and your person. Like it's so much more than just that. So again, take what resonates. And yeah, yeah. But just know that. Like, if as much as you're getting worked on by the divine, your feminine is as well. Then we've got shocking. Um, I feel like part of this is just the this is a shocking revelation to have. To be going about your merry way and just, doing your thing, and then all of a sudden have this holy shit moment. um that's actually my person. And then it's like, well, how can we bridge this gap? How can, for some of you a lot of time has passed, for some of you a lot of stuff happened. um and just know that in this point in this energy, I don't feel like there was anything done to where it's not going to where like a second chance wouldn't be possible. Whatever was done or said or however things went down, it's one of those things where it's resolvable. Okay. Anyways, energy just got real intense. Okay. What else is going on? We've got depth. And it fell out on the shocking card. And so what I'm getting is maybe there's a part of you that is shocked by the depth of this connection, which again is very understandable. There's also this element of this person being able to go deeper with you than anyone else. And that makes sense. This is the person that can see you clearly, that can see you more than anybody else really can. Um, and it's just natural. It's a dynamic of these connections where you can see your person to the core and they can see you to the core. And a part of that is a little intimidating for both. Just, it's intense to be seen like that, but it's also, once you've been seen fully like that, it's really hard to settle for, I just heard settle for second best. It's hard to settle for a connection that does not have that level of depth. It's possible, but it's challenging. We've got apology. Interesting. So I was talking about what went down in this connection. We've got apology, and then we've got silence in the reverse. So I feel like you're about to break your silence and come through with some sort of apology in some way. Eventually. I don't feel it's gonna vary. For some of you, I feel like, the apology might happen right away. For some of you, it might take a little bit, like, it might be breaking contact and then talking a little bit and then working up to that really deep conversation where you're reconciling. But I do feel like you're on the brink of this. You're on the brink of breaking no contact. And it is, there is divine timing at play, and it's it's like divine timing is allowing it now. Um, like the time is right for this. Okay, what else? We'll get some messages from your person. And then we've got the time card. So that's a second confirmation for sure. So, and it fell out on apology. So it's time for this. It's time to break the silence. Okay, we've got exhaustion and peace. And I feel like you're in this kind of exhaustion energy. And I feel like a part of this is the exhaustion is coming from this silence. The silence is becoming exhausting. And so now it's time to go find your peace and to make peace with the situation that happened between you and your person. Okay. Okay. We've got conflicted and hoping. So you could be feeling conflicted about the situation, but still hopeful. Maybe still hanging on to that um that little thread of hope, which is good because that is leading you to this peace and commitment energy at some point. So just know that. And I feel like this conflict, oh yeah, because I just laid it down right on top of the silence card. So I feel like this conflicted energy is going to lift once you break the silence. Okay. Okay, so I had a slight interruption, and then I decided to raise my desk and stand. So we're gonna finish this one out. It was a very interesting day at school for my daughters. So, anyways, back to the message at hand. Okay, the three that came out right before I hit pause were intuition, karma, and lusting. And so I feel like you've been healing and releasing a lot of karmic cycles. This could be releasing a karmic person in a romantic sense. More so than that, it's just about learning some of the lessons that you've been, faced with, more or less. Deep healing, changing certain ways that you show up in certain areas of life, choosing to get off the karmic wheel, learn your lessons, and anchor in a divine connection, that kind of thing. Um, And then, so we've got lusting, and I'm picking up two different things with this, especially with the intuition card on it. I feel like there was a part of you that felt like this other person, your feminine basically, was just lust. It was just surface level. And part of this shocking revelation could have been how deep this connection actually goes, and realizing that it was way more than just lust. And then there's also an energy of like fantasizing and daydreaming about your person. And then I'm hearing it's mutual. So there's that. And then intuitively, there is telepathy on here as well. And so you could be experiencing telepathic communication with your person, and there could be some telepathic lust energy going back and forth. Um, okay. See if anything else wants to come out with this one. All right. Okay. Interesting. Okay. So what I'm getting is that there was definitely pride that got in the way with this connection in some way, and part of what's going on now is you pulling out of your pride, more or less, which makes sense to go towards somebody and confess deeper feelings, ask for a second chance, extend an apology, all of those things. It requires you to pull out of your pride energy and tap into that open, vulnerable, authentic, emotional energy. Um, and then, okay, so I'm seeing that pride came out on escaping. And so it definitely there's an element of, your pride caused you to escape the situation, so to walk away in some way. And then it also was a factor in that kind of chasing thrills, escaping type of an energy. But I feel like this is lifting. I feel like you're really doing conscious work on this, on lifting this. And then we've got shallow. And it says hollow, empty, and boredom. And so I'm not taking it as like a shallow thing. I don't feel like you think your person's shallow. I don't feel like your person thinks you're shallow. That doesn't really feel what this message is about. What I'm really getting from this is it's this empty boredom, hollow energy. And I feel like this is how you feel without your person. And then there is that element of mirroring. So there's a part of your person that feels the same way. Um, it's kind of that like there's something missing at a deep level, and that is your person. And then we've got trapped. So you could feel trapped in a situation in life right now, and it could be whatever's going on with kind of this false foundation energy, this conflict energy. You could be feeling trapped in it. Um, and just know that you're not trapped, and continue to ask for divine guidance on how to get yourself unstuck from the situation. Okay. Yes. Okay, we've got distance. So you could be at a distance from your person. That could be literally or figuratively. If you're not in communication with your person, then obviously there's going to be like that distance. But you could be literally at a physical distance, and that could be part of the challenge here. And then we've got longing. And so yeah, you're definitely longing for your person. Um, and then we've got confusion. So maybe there is still an element of confusion on this dynamic and the situation and what's going on. Especially because this trapped card came out on intuition. This could be clouding some of your intuition right now, whatever other situation is going on. Um, if that's the case, just give yourself some time and space to really tap into your intuition. And you can kind of like mentally say, okay, if this sticky situation that I'm in wasn't a factor, how would I feel about it then? What would I do then? And it can kind of provide some clarity. What else is going on? What else? Okay, we've got mistakes and withdrawn. And so what I'm picking up is that there could be you could be pulling into more of a hermit mode, kind of isolating a little bit to process everything that's going on, and really kind of realizing some of the mistakes that were made in the situation, maybe just in life in general. This can it's a very introspective, reflective type of an energy that I'm picking up. So I feel like that's just confirmation to let you know this period of time that you've spent processing all of this has been for a greater reason. It's one of those energies where the divine's not going to come down and give you all of this energy and this awareness and have you there's another one that wanted to come out. Which one was it? Um, like the divine's not going to put you through all of this for no reason. Oh, okay. We've got influences and abandoned. So the abandoned card says left out, walked away, and cold, feeling kind of left out in the cold. And I do feel like this is also talking about walking away from this connection. And then we've got influences. This is attachments, third parties, and peers. And you could feel very alone with other people right now. That could be part of what this is. Another part is just confirmation that third party stuff did get in the way of this connection. That can be people, that can be jobs. It's basically anything outside of the connection that influenced the connection. So, again, other people, a job, a limiting belief, habit, anything like that can be a third party. So I do feel like there's definitely third party involvement in influence on this connection, and it led to feeling abandoned. Led to feeling left out in the cold in some way. Um, and that is part of what's leading to this exhaustion as well. Um, and I do feel like it's this exhaustion of just like you're exhausted with life and the way that certain things in life have been going. You're just kind of done with that type of dynamic. Um, oh, okay, we've got clinging and intimacy. So there's two things coming across with this clinging card. One is that I feel like there's a little bit of a fear of coming on too strong when you do break no contact. Um, I'm kind of getting the message of like, don't worry about coming on too strong. Just be authentic, be yourself, be open, be vulnerable. And your feminine's gonna know. It's not gonna come across as like love bombing or anything like that. Your feminine's gonna know. So do what feels natural. Um, and authentic. And if it's too much, if it is coming on too strong, your feminine will tell you. And I feel like your feminine will tell you in a way that's not like mean or like harsh. So just know that. And then we've got intimacy. And yeah, I mean there's there's an intimate energy between you and your person. Definitely picking up on it. Um the other thing that just came through is you may not have experienced intimacy with anyone else in the way that you experienced it with your feminine. So this is regardless of if you were actually physically intimate or not. This is just that deep level of intimacy. So that could be part of what was shocking about this is to realize like I've never been able to go to that level or have that level of intimacy with another person except for, my feminine. Okay, one more time. Pull back out here. Wow. We have running in the reverse that like went off to the side. And what I heard is you finally stopped running. So I feel like you were running from this connection, whether you consciously realized it or not, for a long time, and you've stopped running. And because you've stopped running, that is what is pulling you into this energy where you're processing and you're healing and you're doing that inner work so that you can extend an offer to your feminine. And then we've got obsession. So you could feel a little obsessive when it comes to your feminine. You could be having obsessive thoughts. There's a slightly obsessive energy, but it's not in like a really unhealthy way. It's just that like you're constantly thinking of them. You're constantly, if you're at an event, maybe you have the thought of like, I wonder what it would be like if this person was here with me. Or, just like thoughts like that all the time. And I'm being that is mirrored. I'm being told that is mirrored. So your person's doing the same thing. Obscurity. Hold on first. So it's secrets, mysteries, and concealing. And what I'm getting from this is it's more concealing those deeper emotions. And then I heard that's what what kind of led to this situation being what it is now is concealing those deeper feelings. And for some of you, I heard concealing it from yourself. Okay. Then we're going to do messages from your feminine and close it out. We've got soulmates. So this is definitely a soulmate connection. Yeah. Okay, and then we've got distracted, which it says sidetracked, change, and delays. So I feel like there is a delayed, it's like delayed reunion energy. And then it could be also talking about kind of trying to distract yourself, not thinking of it, doing anything and everything to keep yourself busy so you're not focused on this. Um, And I mean, that works up into a point, and then it just stops working. And you'll find that when all those distractions stop working, it's because it's time to do something. It's time to fully face it and take action. So if your distractions aren't working anymore, it's because it's time to take action. Last time for real. For real. Mm. And then perspective. So I feel like, okay, so it says better off. And then I'm hearing you could have felt for some time that your feminine was better off without you. And I'm here to tell you that's not true. Um, and then I'm also getting a change in perspective. And so this is, that's a big part of this, like this shocking revelation that leads to the understanding of the soul connection. That's going to help you to change your perspective. So if you really keep looking at it from that lens of this is a soul connection, there's a soul tie, we have unfinished business, the divine is bringing us back together, y- look at it from that perspective and it'll make things a little bit clearer, so it'll help to clear some of the confusion as well. Okay, a card fell on the floor. The card that fell out on the bottom is bitterness, or on the bottom, on the floor, and the main thing that's sticking out here is resentment, and then there's anger and hurtful words. And because of the way it landed, I'm picking up that this is a fear. So you could fear that your feminine has resentment for you because of things that were said or done in the past. And what I'm picking up is that is not the case, that this is a perfect segue. So we're going to get into the channeled messages from your person and we'll see what they actually have to say to you. So I'm going to pause it to clean this up really quick, get out the other deck, and then we're going to get into it. All right. So these are channeled messages from your person. Oh, okay. I remember every detail of that day. And I have a confession. I love you. Okay, you feel like home. If I could choose anyone, it would be you. Okay, because I want to marry you, which is interesting because earlier when we had the commitment card out, I was picking that up. So that's extra confirmation. You inspire me. You're my eternal muse. When I think about my future, all I see is you. I could get lost in your eyes. And that right there, that's that soul recognition. I feel your energy. Do you feel mine? Oh, I fantasize about your touch. Hey. If I told you I love you, would you say it back? I daydream about our family. I think about you all the time. Anything else wants to come out? Get mushy. Uh, I loved you then. I love you still. I always have. I always will. And then there was a song that channeled through with this one too, and it was I Knew I Loved You by Savage Garden. And then Come Stand in the Sun with Me. Okay. And then there's on the bottom, it's I carry, so it's hidden. Okay. I carry you with me everywhere I go. And that's the song Everywhere by Tim McGraw that came through with that one. Um, and I do want to clarify, this is what your person would say if they felt like they could be totally honest. So this isn't higher self stuff. This is like what your person would actually say in the physical if they felt that they could be totally open and honest with you in this now moment. Okay. I knew you were the one. I just never said it. And then Let Me Love You. And there's a bunch of songs with that one. So you could just search Let Me Love You and intuitively find the one that is from your person. Okay. Oh, and then the bottom of the deck is Who Cares What They Think? And then it says Let Them Watch. Okay. We'll flip through one more time. There's so much we didn't say. Okay. Your eyes enchant me. So there's definitely that soul recognition in the eyes. You make me laugh. Let's play. There's definitely a playful energy. And then it says, You're the one for me. And then the last one is, Can we talk? So if you needed some extra confirmation, that would be what your person would tell you if they felt like they could be completely honest with you, like right now. That was the intention behind pulling these cards. So with that, I'm going to leave this here. I hope that this helped. I hope this brought a little bit of clarity and insight for you, a little bit of guidance. Keep going. You got this. It's a tough journey. And just know that, you've got divine support on your side helping you through this right now, helping you to do what's necessary, helping you to I just heard find the courage to break no contact. So tap into that energy and just know that this is a divinely guided situation. It is for your highest good. It is for this person's highest good, and it's for the collective's highest good, is what I just heard. So, alrighty. Well, wishing you all the best. Yep, yep, yep. Okay. If this resonates, you can let me know in the comments below. I would love to hear about it and talk to you about it. If you like this message, feel free to hit that like button. It does help out the channel, so thank you. If you'd like to see more from me, you can hit subscribe. It is free, and I will see you on the next message. Bye.